All right. Thank you guys so much. That was a wonderful session. I'm going to get us started with our main event. So welcome everyone. My name is Laura Knight. I am the development manager for A2S here in our US office. So excited you all are here joining us this evening for our virtual Soulful Supper. We're so excited to share with you all that's happening in Benin City, Nigeria as a part of our programs. I will be your host this evening, and to get us started, I'd like to take a brief moment to introduce myself. While I'm new to A2S staff, I'm not a stranger to A2S as an organization. Over 11 years ago, which is kind of hard to think about, Andrew Lovedale came to speak to my class as a Davidson College student about his life and experience in Nigeria, and this was way before A2S was officially formed. According to Andrew, for this, but if Andrew says it, it must be true. I came up to him after he spoke and told him I was going to change the world. Soon after that moment, A2S was founded, and I sort of followed along as the organization grew. In college, I studied global studies and took a particular interest in non-governmental organizations. Knowing that A2S had such a sustainable and effective model, I gave Andrew a call to learn more and soon became the communications intern and traveled to Nigeria in 2018. What I knew about A2S before visiting Nigeria doesn't even compare to what I learned on the ground, getting to meet our kids and our staff in person. Our kids are so bright and our staff is incredibly motivated and talented, and I immediately knew that A2S was a special community that I need to be a part of. So this year I was so excited to start this position as a full-time staff member in our US office. And now I'm glad that you all are here to learn more about what A2S is up to and to see where we're headed in the near future. So a couple of housekeeping things to get us started. This call is being recorded and will be used for A2S purposes following this evening. We ask that you please leave your microphone on mute unless we open up the opportunity to ask questions. We do welcome if you would like to turn your camera on. Our speakers would love to see your lovely faces. For the best experience, it may be easier for you to put your screen in speaker view. This can be changed in the top right corner of your screen if you're using a laptop or computer. I will also be monitoring the chat. So if you have questions throughout the evening, I will also be sharing some relevant links as well in the chat. Let's see, let me make sure that I covered everything. Oh, just so you know, we will have trivia coming up in the middle, so I will let you know when that's about to happen. We'll have a couple of questions about A2S and we'll be giving out some prizes, so that might be something to look forward to. Now I'd like to introduce our administrative assistant, Rebecca Clark, to open us up in prayer.
Takers of your creation, entrusting us with using our gifts wisely and to share them generously. Please open our hearts and minds as we come together tonight to share stories of our brothers and sisters in Nigeria. We pray that you will use us as witnesses of the love of Jesus Christ and to follow his command to love one another as he loves us. Guide us to follow your will and plan. With grateful hearts we pray. Amen.
Amen.
All right, thank you, Rebecca. Now I'm going to share my screen to show you all a video. This video is from our team in Nigeria, sharing their thanks in their native languages. And then Sister Faustina will come on at the end to wrap up in English.
Unu emeela, leenụ ihe niile unu mere anyị, daalụnụ, Chukwu gọzie unu niile.
Our donors, una do well. Oh. This project una carry come for us for Benin. God will continue to bless una.
Wagi going on the value wakeke, ma yiwa biomo.
Edo we, anya me ya won pe. Sokma, ogo gbodu ugano etimani rewebo dogi wino kokwa wado uyedo ma we se o.
Nagode, Sose, Abokina.
Ẹ ṣé o, a ní pé ẹ ṣé o fún iṣẹ́ gidi tẹ́ ń ṣe ní Nàìjíríà, ẹ̀yin ọ̀rẹ́ wa ní Ìkòkun, ẹ ṣé.
On behalf of A2S staff members and the entire community, we say a very big thank you to all of you for your contributions to our youth center and all our programs in Nigeria. Thank you, and we love you.
All right, hopefully you all could hear that time. Our team is the best in Nigeria. I really can't stress that enough. So thanks for that. I am now going to turn it over to our founder, Andrew Lovedale, who's going to share a little bit about A2S as an overview. I see some in the audience who are new to us, so welcome, and hopefully this is helpful.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for being here tonight. You know, you're all honoring our invitation. 11 years ago, A2S began as a journey to put more than shoes right on the feet of the most vulnerable children living in Nigeria, and being a country with the most people living in extreme poverty. This mission has continually evolved into a total head community-driven initiative, one that most of you have become an integral part of. What you just heard is thank you from our team in Nigeria in 5 out of over 525 native languages spoken in Nigeria. During a recent trip to Nigeria, I got the opportunity to listen to many of our youth and their parents. And what I learned was that this community had moved beyond the clothing, the scholarships, the feeding, and the material support that you and I might otherwise focus on. Their connection to A2S had become relational and not transactional. A father stood up to say he enjoyed 8 months when A2S ensured that he and his family, alongside 200 other families, had food during the lockdown, but that what he misses the most was the staff calls every other day to check up on his family. A mother stood up and said, I'm so thankful for my daughter's scholarship to the university, but what is rare is the constant visits at the university and the peer groups created to encourage one another. An A2S scholar was at the hospital suffering from high fever, and 2 other university scholars took turns spending the night at the hospital. In my life's journey, there are 2 major gifts that I've been blessed with: the gift of love and consistency. The abiding gift of love modeled after the love of Christ, many of you showed me, and the consistency with which you did it as part of my village. And that is really why I'm here today. So if you wonder why these thank yous in various Nigerian dialects, it's because when you invest in the dreams of our youth, you invest in more than just dreams. You invest in diverse communities and relationships that matter. These thank yous are for over 240 children being served daily at the after-school academy, 200 entrepreneurs being empowered in our entrepreneur empowerment program, 62 scholars spread across universities in Nigeria, 7 scholars sponsored to school in the US, 17 full-time and 10 part-time jobs created, 3,500 widows and orphans displaced from their homes by terrorist groups being provided a week's worth of food supplies every month for the past 3 years, hundreds of thousands of educational and athletic supplies being distributed, all in love. For all of some of the 11 years of our existence, you've shared so selflessly the gifts of your time, talents, and treasures, and you've trusted our community in Nigeria to help turn your gifts into the purest form of love. You are the reason why our kids can enjoy what I've been gifted with too, the gifts of love and consistency. Personally, I'm driven by the desire to give the children even more than I received. So really, on behalf of our community in Nigeria, I want to use this unique opportunity to pass on their message of thanks to you for helping to bring us to this point in the vision of A2S, and for doing so during a global pandemic. For 11 years, we built a community outside of space, and we're so excited for the next 10 years of A2S. Our season of promise. And that season of promise begins with a place, that we get to finally call home. So thank you.
All right, at this time, I would like to introduce Precious Blessing, who is our entrepreneur and empowerment program director. As an entrepreneur herself, Precious is a strong advocate for our growing community of over 250 entrepreneurs in Nigeria. She has played a huge role in creating and growing this program since it began in 2017 with our very first pitch competition and entrepreneur incubator. We're so excited to currently have her visiting our office in the US and to have this opportunity for her to share with you why we started our entrepreneur program, how it's grown since its beginning, and how our new youth center will impact our entrepreneurs' ability to gather, collaborate, and further the future of the Benin City community.
Good evening, everyone. It is such an honor to talk to all of you about our Entrepreneur Empowerment Program, the EEP. It was easy to get me on board to serve as the EEP director 4 years ago because I have personally experienced the challenges of being and surviving as an entrepreneur in Nigeria. When I started my aesthetics business 10 years ago, I didn't start with a business plan, didn't have a mentor or role model, and certainly didn't have the necessary entrepreneurial resources I needed to have and run a successful business. I knew the problem I wanted to solve, and I had the skill and I had the funds to start it, and then I jumped right into it. The result is 5 years after I remained a struggling business owner, and those I introduced into starting the business became major competitors. I knew I needed a total overhaul, but I didn't know how to and where to get the help from. That's the gap our EEP fills, supporting young entrepreneurs who have innovative ideas that can be turned into viable enterprises and encouraging social conscious entrepreneurship. As we continue to evaluate and develop our programs, we saw the need to introduce an entrepreneurial arm that gives youths that we serve who have entrepreneurial mindsets and other young aspiring and struggling entrepreneurs outside our program the opportunity of being successful entrepreneurs. We realize that we are investing so much in our children without a guarantee of sustainability when they graduate from the university. There's this popular saying in Nigeria that school is a scam. That's because a lot of students who are working so hard to go through school and come out with decent academic results, but end up facing the big challenge of unemployment. At the moment, a quarter of the Nigerian population, that is 33.3%, is unemployed at a point in our lives where the cost of living is at a record high. How is one to survive and live a decent life amidst such a challenge? That's a question we do not have to ponder upon anymore, because our Entrepreneur Empowerment Program crowns our entire program. It answers the question, where do we go from here? We have such a unique model that cushions every aspect of our entrepreneurial challenge. Annually, an online application is opened to over 100 youths who are visionaries and have innovative business ideas. Those ideas are assessed and vetted by our EEP team and vet members respectively. And so the vet members are the venture evaluation team, and they are made up of one African and one US-based business leader. Then 6 teams are selected and given the opportunity to get feedback about their ideas by members of the VET and our mentors at our pre-pitch. And 3 teams are selected at the annual pitch competition to gain access to 0 interest loan of up to $6,000. 4 months of business mentorship by 1 African and 1 US business leader, and other entrepreneurial resources and support. This is one of its kind because around Nigeria, we do not have another entrepreneurial program or opportunities like this that cushions every challenge an entrepreneur face. It is my pleasure to announce that our entrepreneurs are doing exceptionally. Some of them have started to pay back their loan and are serving as mentors to others just getting into the program. This is very important to note because when we started, we didn't know which turn to take. We were not sure how we're going to be able to sustain this, especially in a country like Nigeria, where there are so many challenges. But somehow we've been able to bridge that gap. I think, again, just putting the kids at the center and giving our all to making sure that the needs of the common man is met has been able to serve as a motivating factor to help us achieve this dream. The journey has not been as easy, but we have all come to agree that it is definitely worth it. And that's because we have people like you who believe in our vision and are serving as a pillar in making the dreams of young entrepreneurs come true. We're grateful to all of you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Precious. That was wonderful. I do have a couple of follow-up questions for you. If anyone else has follow-up questions, please feel free to enter them into the chat. Precious, how is the Entrepreneur Hub at the Youth Center going to change things for our entrepreneurs?
I think that's very important. That's the future of our entrepreneurial program. And we are very excited to share that. An example is just all that we want to do with the entrepreneurial space. Entrepreneurs do not have access to mentors. They do not have access to, for example, Sister Tekla spoke about having network challenges. One would think that that's not something the Western world has as a major challenge, but that's a major challenge for young entrepreneurs. To even having a laptop to work with, having internet connection to work with, those are the bridges that the Entrepreneurial Hub is going to fill. We are going to utilize that space in a way that it gives them an opportunity to have access to entrepreneurial resources. They are going to have a co-working space. Like when I started my business, I started in my garage, and it was hard. It was very hard. So I think I would even pass for, like, I run a nonprofit that's into supporting young street vendors, and I would say I could pass for a street hawker at the time, because there were days that I did not have a choice but to practically hawk my products and just go on the street and look for someone who has the challenge that I was trying to fix and have and sell my business to them, because I did not have a place to work from. And that's huge for me when we found that we could also use that place as a co-working space for young entrepreneurs, as a temporary co-working space for young entrepreneurs who do not have their own working space. And then we would have an opportunity for them to have mentors office hours where they can have a one-on-one with a mentor that would help them with their business challenges. And that's major because, for example, we have a major challenge with finances. It's huge. When the application comes in, 90% of the applicants have challenges with their finances. And then they want someone who can step in and help them with those challenges. And that's what that space is also going to be used for training, used for networking, events for entrepreneurs, for mentors, for business leaders, and also have an opportunity to have trainings online, have access to trainings online or in-person trainings. At the office at the moment, we have mentors office hours, which is a huge challenge because, again, that's where we're using as our official office space. So with the Entrepreneurial Hub, it's designed in a way that it covers all the challenges. Like I said, it cushions all the challenges that an entrepreneur will face, which would be whether it's network or access to entrepreneurial resources, having access to one-on-one mentorship, having a co-working space where you can just sit down and work and have like basic light. Like we struggle with lights. It's very expensive one. And even when you have the finances to pay for it, it's not readily available. So half of the time you do not have lights to work with. And that's a challenge we're not going to have at the youth center, because we're going to have a standby generator and we're going to have that funded and make sure that it's running for as long as the place is opened. So those are some of the things that we intend to use that space for.
Thank you. It's going to be such a wonderful space for them to have, is like their designated space that they can collaborate. That's going to be so great. So a unique thing about our entrepreneur program is we're only able to fund 3 businesses a year through our mentor incubator. Could you discuss our entrepreneur gatherings that support the 250 entrepreneurs that participate in our community, but that we don't have the opportunity to fund?
Okay, so because somehow we're very passionate about supporting entrepreneurs, and that's majorly, I would give that credit to Mr. Andrew. He is extremely passionate about how much more can we give. And sometimes we almost have to say, you can't do it all, that we don't have the capacity to go beyond and above. But somehow he continues to insist that whatever we can do, the little that we can do, the extra mile that we can go for these young entrepreneurs is worth it. And that's how we started to create provision, because the first year, after selecting out of over 100 applications, we ended up supporting 3 teams. So we had over 100 teams that we couldn't support, and that was painful. It was painful for us, but especially painful for the founder. And we started to talk about ways that we can support those that don't make it into the incubator. And that's when we moved the community online. So now we have weekly trainings every week. So all the entrepreneurs that come through our program and are not fortunate to make it into the incubator, but still need that support, they get access to weekly trainings by business leaders and our mentors. They have access to our mentors' office hours, so they can have a one-on-one with one of our mentors. Then they also have the opportunity to come into the office to get whatever other support that they need from our mentors or from the EEP team.
Awesome. It's been so cool to see how this community has grown and how we've been able to reach out more and figure out the best ways to provide those resources. So thank you for sharing about that.
Thank you.
Great. So now we're going to move on for some trivia. How this is going to work is I'm going to ask a couple of questions. You're going to have some time to put the answer in the chat. I will not give you the correct answer until the end of this call. So anyone who enters the correct answer into the chat will be eligible. And what we'll do is we'll randomly select 3 winners for a prize. So that will either be an A2S t-shirt or some lovely napkins that were made by our kids in the After School Academy. So let's get started. So the first question is,
Our staff members are allowed to participate.
say what?
Staff members are allowed to participate.
Oh, sure. Why not, Uche? You're here at, oh my gosh, what time is it for you right now? It's like 2:30 in the morning, 1:30 in the morning. You can participate. All right. How many children attend the After School Academy this year? And this can be between a range of, like, if you get within 5, I'll give it to you. Okay. Question number 2 is, when was A2S officially incorporated as a nonprofit organization? In what year? All right, question number 3. Who was the second scholar to come to the US? All right, I'm gonna repeat those 3 questions and then we're gonna move on, and you have until the end of the call to submit your right answer for the drawing. Okay. How many children attend the After School Academy this year? In what year was A2S officially incorporated as a nonprofit organization? And who was the second scholar to come to the US to study? And Uche's laughing because I think he figured it out. All right. So now what I'm gonna do before our founder and president speaks is I'm gonna share a video with you all about, well, I'll let you see. All right, now I'm going to turn it over to Andrew to take it away. You're on mute.
I think I can hear the staff laughing at me from the other office. But I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's still very difficult for me to come to terms with, because this started as a mission to just provide shoes to fellow youth in Nigeria who did not have shoes like me, following my story, and to think about the evolution of A2S over the years. I don't think I've still come to terms with it. This pandemic caught us by surprise, and in the midst of it, we were encouraged to discover ourselves again. And for me, it was really to align my priorities with God's will. If this pandemic taught us anything, it's that our pains, our purpose, and our promises are not mutually exclusive. They are not tied to how we look or where we come from, or who we are. If anything, it taught us that our shared destinies will be more important than our individual pursuits. Like my pastor once said, maybe Jesus did not come to show us how to be divine, but to remind us what it means to be fully human, to be restored to God's intention for our humanity, one which he called good. In our community, you've been good. A friend, a story, an encounter brought you here. You not only stayed, but you found ways to help us grow by investing your time, your talents, and your treasures. 11 years on, this community has grown, and here we are, a building is going up, a building that will house our programs, and for the first time, everything will run from one location. This building is a 10-minute walk from where I grew up, and in the heart of a community where we serve. It's a safe place where kids will come to learn, play, grow, and make friends. Just for a second, imagine the God stories that will come from the four walls of the youth center and how those stories will shape our shared destinies. If you joined us earlier on, you probably asked some of our scholars questions and heard their heartfelt answers. A former scholar produced one of the videos that you watched today. Let me tell you about Theodore. Theodore is an A2S scholar turned entrepreneur. Theodore's mother is a widow with 3 children. She never thought her kids would be educated. Theodore, like so many kids, started attending our after-school academy, after which he gained an A2S scholarship to study at the university. During his transition, we encouraged him to explore his creativity, and fashion design was his passion. After graduating from school with a diploma, he faced the reality of a 34% unemployment rate. Through A2S, he started as an entrepreneur and has not only hired staff, but is doing well and developed a fashion design curriculum for kids at our after-school academy where he currently volunteers. Theodore is one of many stories. A child once given a pair of shoes, empowered with an education, and whose heart, filled with the love of God, remembers and is living his dream and purpose. Isosa is here tonight. An A2S scholar who also interned with our team in Nigeria has followed in the footsteps of A2S. He founded UCAN Foundation in Northern Nigeria to help educate young children, especially orphans and young girls. These are results of your contributions, and they're everywhere. There are other A2S scholars with us today. The Youth Center will allow us to function effectively at reduced costs. We can eventually increase the number of kids that we serve daily to 300. Our staff will no longer have to commute between their homes, the A2S office, and the donated church space. And we do not have to rent spaces for all of our programs. This youth center will be completed by the end of the year, and we are now moving towards the transition phase this season and in the lifetime of A2S. We're asking friends of A2S as we make this transition to help us so that we have all the resources that our youth need. Our encouragement today is that you consider helping us move this community that we've built in the past decade into our home. Every child deserves to learn in a well-equipped classroom, to eat in a clean cafeteria, to explore learning at the library, to find safe spaces to play and to make friends. Every young and aspiring entrepreneur deserves a place where their ideas can be developed, where they can learn the art of collaboration, explore the world of entrepreneurship beyond their borders, and learn from some of the finest business minds. This youth center creates a clearer vision for the future of A2S. It seals a model and creates an opportunity to measure and create true impact. The next 10 years of A2S is called our season of promise because as an organization, we want to move towards sustainability. To do that, we want to see all our programs run from one location as we even explore revenue generation opportunities while building on our capacity development programs. You each have a unique role to play. Just like Theodore and Iso said, the first step to living our lives on purpose is to remember. To remember that person who invested time to help us learn and grow. Someone who walked with us through the storms of life. Others who sacrificed so that we could be here today. Can you ever remember sitting in a classroom? What did it look like? Can you remember reading or checking out a book from the library? How did it help you? Do you remember your favorite teacher? Why were they your favorite? If you own a business, did you ever learn from a mentor, receive capital support, or even have a space to develop your idea with friends or fellow entrepreneurs? How has that shaped you today? So we need your help to continue making these types of experiences and memories a reality for our youth in Nigeria. And tonight, we begin the journey of raising $50,000 towards the $150,000 it would take to run our youth center programs for the first year during the transition. When we met in person, we were able to meet our goal during the in-person Soulful Supper of $150,000 and even surpass it to outfit the youth center. Last year, the board challenged themselves and came up with the funds and asked some of our donors to match it. Between our board members and some of our donors, we were able to raise the funds that we need to build the youth center. And now we're trying to work towards ensuring that these kids, that they have the resources to transition into the youth center. If you're already supporting our mission, will you consider a stretch gift towards this project? If you're new with us tonight, thank you for coming to learn more about us. Please prayerfully consider making A2S your global partner of choice so that together we can make a significant impact on this world. As you think about your next steps to make a difference with the A2S Youth Center, we invite you to email your questions to our team here, and then also see the videos that we will share post this event. We are truly grateful for you. Coming to Davidson and understanding that I was gifted with such a unique opportunity to play on the Davidson men's basketball team and the opportunities that that has afforded me. I'm so blessed to have the unique gifts of love and consistency. And whether you've heard about our after school academy, you've heard about our entrepreneur programs, you've heard about our outreach programs, all of these programs are geared towards those two things to ensure that we provide the gifts of love and consistency. Uche girl is here today. She's a girl who was told that her father didn't have the resources to send her to school. He only had resources enough to put her older two daughters through school. And Uche had to drop out of school. But today she got her master's from Bradley University in Peoria, Illinois. These are the stories that God is using A2S to create. These are the stories that will in turn affect our shared destinies. And for me, it's just been a blessing to watch these transformations. Isosa is here today and he is working in northern Nigeria, actually in a more difficult region than A2S is located, than where A2S is located in the south. And to see what's happening, it's not because we're going in there and we're just stopping, it's because like Uche, I once gave Uche a pair of shoes, but beyond that, it wasn't about the pair of shoes. For me, I think about the people in my life, my teammates, my friend, my host families, my family, and my community, all these people that have led me from point A to point B at every turn. They didn't just come in and give me food. They didn't just come in and provide an education. What they did was they became my support system as I moved along throughout my journey. And that's what I'm driven by personally. That's what the culture of A2S is about. It's not about instant gratification. It's about delayed gratification to see results over time. And that's the kind of culture that I think will bring about the kind of change that we so desire to see in our world. And obviously, we continue to keep the kids at the center with Jesus Christ at the head. So please, whatever you can do, continue to support this mission and find ways to be a part of this transition process. And I want to say again, I'm very thankful for each and every one of you, for the ways that you love me, for always picking up my calls, and for always looking out for ways to invest in the lives of our youth. I'm super grateful, and God bless. Thank you.
Thank you, Andrew. To give you all a better idea of what the difference this youth center is going to make for our kids, We have a special video that was made by Gift, who is a senior at the After School Academy and is our star A2S Kids News anchor.
Hello everyone, my name is Git and I attend the A2S After School Academy. Today, I'm going to be taking you on a tour around the academy and showing you what the academy looks like. Come with me. This is our makeshift hall where the senior students hold classes. It is usually demarcated with these red curtains. It also serves as a dining area and hall for our extracurricular activities. This is one of the classrooms for our little ones that attend the After School Academy. All the tables and chairs in these classrooms can be removed to give the kids enough playroom. At the A2S After School Academy, we have two kitchens. The indoor kitchen and an outdoor kitchen. This is as a result of limited space, as the indoor kitchen is not big enough to prepare all our meals. These meals are prepared by our volunteers who are our loving mothers. This is our outdoor space where bulk of our meals are prepared. Our loving mothers couldn't cook here today because it rained. We really look forward to our future kitchen. This is the office of the After School Academy Director. It also serves as a management office, as all the academy staff members do not have designated offices. This is our current library at the A2S After School Academy. It's more like a storeroom for our textbooks, stationaries, sewing equipment, and instructional materials. Welcome to our A2S Youth Center. It's our season of promise, and the A2S Youth Center means a lot to all of us. And personally, it is a safe haven for the Nigerian children and their communities to thrive. Come, let me show you around. This is our academic building. We have 14 classrooms, studio, and designated offices for all academy staff members. Now we can cater for more children. This is our future A2S kitchen. It is a dream come true for our loving mothers, as they will not have to cook under harsh weathers, and it is very spacious. We also have a cafeteria. This cafeteria will serve as a dining area for the children to have lunch together every day. One beautiful thing about it is that it's separate from the learning area. This is our future A2S library. As you can see, it's really huge. We can actually sit and read here. We also plan on having our e-library where we can have access to online learning resources. It's fantastic. This is our administrative block, and it consists of sick bay, library, event hall, several offices, and conference room for all staff members. This is us saying a very big thank you to everyone who has ushered us into the season of promise. We pray that your expectations will never be cut short. Amen.
As an update, we have been continuing to work on our youth center, and this is what it looks like as of 2 days ago. So very exciting to see what our progress. Progressed. That's how that works. So thank you all for joining us this evening. It was wonderful to be able to share with you what we've been working on this past year and what we anticipate in our near future. We greatly appreciate your support and generosity as we continue to build our community in Benin City, Nigeria. I'll remind you that our contact info as well as a link to donate are available in the chat. Our team will make sure to follow up with any remaining questions you may have. Thank you so much for being here, and I hope you all are stay well, stay safe, and have a great rest of your week. Oh, trivia answers. I'm being reminded by my lovely team who's sitting in here with me. Okay, trivia answers. Question number 1, how many kids are in the After School Academy? 250, unless Andrew corrects me. Okay, it's whoever said 250, I think somebody said 240, you got it too. All right, question number 2 was, when was A2S officially incorporated as a nonprofit organization? 2010. And then question number 3, who was the second scholar to come to the US? That was Uche Girl, or as she's called on her screen here, Uchechi. All right, thank you guys so much. If you have any questions, please let us know. Otherwise, have a lovely evening. Thank you so much for being here.